Okay, good afternoon, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are in stage 3 of the Tour du Alpes, and we've had some quite exciting action taking place in the first two stages. I'll update you very shortly on the latest news and the latest standings. But there's already been 2 time slots run this morning, and the first one just after midnight or 1 o'clock my time was pretty poorly attended, but the 7 o'clock running was well attended. And once more, let's see if we can pull it up once more, John Beam took the win and moved into the premier position for stage 3 at this time. Now, if you remember, he did exactly the same yesterday, and let's have a look. Have we got details of John's time? Here we go. So this is how it stands at the moment prior to today, with 2 stages gone. Daniel Cadiz moved into the lead overall with his win yesterday. He had a superb run with 45.55 as the winning time on the day, which knocked John, who had been holding that spot until last night's event, with a 48.39. So knocked off just under 3 minutes the fastest time from John, and Casper headed him, chased him all the way, finishing about a minute and 25, give or take, a minute and a half behind. So it was quite an exciting battle to watch, but it was obvious to me. I actually covered the commentary in my own feed, and later watched the ZMS feed, live feed, and it was pretty obvious that Daniel was going to pull away once he got into his stride on the hill. But let's have a look at some of the other standings from yesterday. And this was well, you've just seen that graphic now, but this was the stage 2 podium after all the events came in. So in first place is Daniel, in second place Casper, and in third place is Andre. But we had a really good battle yesterday as well with the ladies. So I'll just pull that up for you. And there is the results of the ladies' podium after 2 stages. In first place is Alyssa, in second place is Linda, and in first place Anne Y. Now Kate couldn't take part yesterday, so she's dropped out of the podium spots. She assures me that she's going to be racing later on today, so I'm assuming that Kate will get back up there, maybe not onto the podium, but certainly get back up there in amongst the standings. Let's have a look at the age category results for yesterday, because that was quite interesting as well. And this is combined men and women. So here you can see that in the A1 category, a rider I've tipped to climb the standings, Wouter Claes, is currently top of the A1 standings. and he did an excellent time of 50 minutes and 11 seconds yesterday, with Stoppels not far behind him, well, in fact 2 seconds behind him, as you can see. But that wasn't the winning time yesterday. If you look at the and in fact it wasn't until you get down to the B group, the B age group of Daniel, Timo and Daniel from OTR, that you can see that the timings are completely flipped. Then down in the C category, Jonathan Stevens had another good run yesterday with a 49, closely followed by John T. Williamson and our own Peter Brook-Varvel. So you can see that that battle is going to be hotting up with what, 1, 2, 3 minutes between the top 3 riders in the C category. And then in the D category, Lee Marshall is currently out front with a 1 minute 30 second lead over Jojo Rusinek. So that promises to be an interesting battle. What is quite interesting to me as well is that Chris O'Hearn, who's currently in 3rd place in that group, he has only ridden 1 event so far. I'm not sure whether he's going to be riding today because he's not commentating. I'm going to be actually commentating later this evening on the ZMS live stream, so that should be quite fun. Okay, and then down in the E category you've got Keith from OTR currently leading the standings, followed by national champion, ex-national champion Nick Giles, and then Martin Shields. So an interesting battle there. And then way down in the F and G categories you've got Dermot Doyle and Stephen Elliott. So some interesting battles going on, and it's not all about the A1 category and age group. It appears that some of the older riders are actually performing better than the youngsters, which is usually the case. Older riders gain not only experience but endurance. Let's have a look and see if we can what else have we got here. Yeah, that's for later in the news segment. So that's about it in terms of covering what happened yesterday. But moving on today, we've got a lovely stage coming up, and this should see, again, I think this will see a bit more of a change around in the standings. So I'll put it up on screen for you. There you go, and this is the profile that you can see of stage 3, the one that I'm covering today. Now, while I'm on that topic, I will say that I'm not able to cover the full race in this lunchtime slot. I will, however, be commentating on the full stage tonight, but I have other duties this lunchtime with my family, so I can't stay to the end. I'll cover the start and probably up the first hill, but then I have to dash away and pick my girls up from school. So I'll get back to you after that, later in the evening. But it's a pretty longer stage today, 22 kilometers, most of which of it is climbing. There is that downhill section at the midway point, but this is going to be a real tester for a lot of the riders, because I suspect on this first part of the hill the main contenders are going to be able to get away, and your sort of like rollers and shall we say not true climbers, I don't think they're going to be able to pull back the leaders on that downhill. I think they'll be too far gone, but we'll see what happens. It certainly makes for an interesting stage, because will some of the riders save some powder for tomorrow, which is the Queen stage of the whole tour and the hardest stage of the whole tour. So it remains to be seen whether some riders play it canny today and just take a bit of a breather, knowing that they've got the hardest stage tomorrow, or whether riders just go full on. We'll have to wait and see. We'll know soon enough. But I think we'll see the largest contingent coming out for the 6 o'clock running of this race tonight, and I think that's going to swap things around prior to tomorrow's Queen stage. And what else have we got in the news? Let's have a look. Yes, we've got a nice little tour coming up. We being OTR. Let's just fire this over for you. So we've got a small tour that we've called the Tour of Latin America coming up. It's a 5-day tour, and it promises to be an interesting... Let's just pull this one up for you as well. And that. There we go. Yes, it promises to be an interesting tour because not only is there a general classification, but there's sprint points on offer. There's a King of a Mountain competition. So there's different aspects to this small tour, and it should be quite exciting. It's also another one put together by Paul Nichols with his Magic Road, so you can expect something akin to what you see in here in the Tour du Alpes. I have to compliment Paul on his roads because they are absolutely amazing. He does a really good job. And this is really my first real knowledge of Paul's roads. I've obviously ridden some in the past, but didn't know Paul had put them together. But now that I'm part of his team and learning more about the work he puts in, I think it's pretty amazing. And you'll see the scenery later on in today's stage, or go and watch some of the other videos, because it really is pretty special. What else have we got in the news section? Not sure actually. I think that's more or less it for... Oh, we have the prize draw. How could I forget? Now every day we've got... let's just transition that off the screen. Every day we've got a prize draw for the spot prize, which is given away by our main sponsors for the day. Now yesterday the main sponsors was, let's see if we can pull them up on screen. Where are they? Here we go. Yeah, our main sponsor yesterday was Hexy Socks, and they have contacted, well, I'm hoping they've contacted by now the winner. So let's pull up the prize draw and you can watch it as it happened live. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. This is all going to get automated, folks, in later broadcasts. I just haven't had the time to do it yet, so it will simply happen at the push of a button. But what I'm having to, just to explain to you, what I'm having to do here is manually go into all the different images and settings and pull them up on screen for you. But hopefully this will happen automatically, and we'll get this much more slick than what it is at the moment. Okay, so this is the prize draw. Let's see if we can get it working. There we go. Let's reset it, transition it across, and there we go. Okay, so this is the prize draw as it happened last night. There's our spinning wheel. And who's the lucky winner? There you go. Johan Suhard is the lucky winner. I think it's going to loop and show you this one more time, and then we'll stop it. So you can see how it works. All the names are put into the spinning wheel. It's all done by computer, so it's all done automatically. We've no input in this. We can't choose the winners. And it stops on a name, and there you go. Pretty amazing. And today's sponsor, again, let's see if I can pull that up on screen. Let's just take that one off. Yeah, today's sponsor is Palo Valley, and they'll be offering a spot prize, which again will be announced after this evening's stage, after the stage I'm going to be commentating on later this evening. So looking forward to that. Now the race is starting in about 11 minutes. Still waiting for riders to arrive on the line. We've got 7 at the moment. But let's shoot over to the line and see who's turned up so far. So let's transition across to the start of the race. And there you go. We've got, I think it's Anne Y, the lady. And Anne's currently, I think, in 3rd place in the competition. So she's doing really well. And then we've got Colin, Philippe, Gray, Achem. I think Achem actually rode last night, so he's choosing an earlier time slot today. Then obviously you've got me, but I will not be racing. I'm simply having to join the event so that I can commentate, which is a good reminder actually. Let's now I'm only going to be able to stop for one time change, because as I say, I have to dash away and pick my girls up from school. But I will set an alarm. There we go. So I'm doing this live, folks, so that I don't forget get on the bike after 25 minutes, because we have had a few mistakes where I've been kicked out. Now I don't expect any of the main contenders to be dropping in on this particular time slot, so I think it's unlikely you're going to see anybody overtaking John Beam's earlier time. Which reminds me, I did have it somewhere, but let's see. What I'll do is, while you're watching riders joining the action, I'm gonna slot away. You can't see me, but I'm gonna slot away and find out what John's time this morning was. So just bear with me, folks, and I'll put up the RGDB website, go to results, and let's have a look. Where are we? There we go. 7 o'clock running, or 7 o'clock my time, 6 o'clock UK time. Yes, John Beam's time was 59.52, so just under the minute. Very high average watt kilo of 4.62, but John's a very good and well-known rider. He also uses a webcam so that we can all see his pain, which is really cool. And Wouter finished this morning just behind, well, not just behind. John managed to take 7 minutes out of him, so actually 6 minutes. 6 minutes out of Wouter this morning. So and Peter Brook-Ravel from my team OTR, he finished about a minute behind Wouter. So currently they're the top 3, but I don't expect those times to be beaten this lunchtime, but certainly this evening I think we'll see challengers for those times. Looking forward to the commentary. Okay, I'm simply trying to fill in a bit of time here as we count down to the race start, which is in another 7 minutes, over 7 minutes time. Let's see if I can find any other news online while we're waiting. What I often do in these news sections is I have a browser window open so that if anything's happening in the groups, any news is happening, I can report on it live. Nope, not much happening in the Facebook groups. So I'll tell you what we'll do, folks. We'll just have another. I'm going to drop back to the newsroom, and we'll have another look at the standings as they are at the moment. And we can always discuss that. So here we go. We'll drop back to the newsroom for a few minutes and just have a further look at the standings. So what we got, I particularly want to see where we are with so Keith is the leading OTR rider at the moment, followed by Peter Buckvarvel. So there you are. I've given you another good look at the general standings, as well as having a good look myself. What I'm going to have to do is a little bit of background work between now and tonight to prepare for my commentary. But let's see what else have we got that we can share with you. I think we'll have another look at the age category, because that was for those that are joining me late. There you go. I mean, this is an interesting graphic, and as I mentioned earlier in the commentary, it's not just about the youngest riders. Some of the older riders are actually showing them a thing or two. Now let's have a look. Who have we got joining? If we what you need to do is when we transfer back to the race start, which I'm going to do very shortly, just try and memorize a few names on this leaderboard, and then we'll have a look and see how many of these riders that are on podium spots are actually in this lunchtime running of the event. I'm looking now at both, so I'm going to transfer you back across to the race start. Let's go there, so that we don't miss the start. 2 minutes and a half to go. But one name jumps out at me, and that's Achenby. I don't know how to pronounce it. Achenb, Achen. Now, I would peg him as the winner of this stage. Although Dulac's there, so Dulac could have something to say. Sondergaard's there as well. So I think this is going to be an interesting run. Sondergaard will certainly be in with a shout, but my money is going to be on Achen. And we'll see what happens. Now, as we get into the race, folks, I have to jump on the bike and spin the pedals. So I haven't actually got the camera showing me in the corner of the screen on at the moment. I've been having some issues with my race cam, but you can hear my voice. And yes, I really am looking forward to this one. Spin the camera around a little bit. Let's have a look and see. Yeah. All nicely lined up for the start. 44 seconds to go. So jump on the bike. Oh, what's happened there? Okay. Don't go away, folks. I don't know what's happened there, but it's just crashed on me. The app has just crashed. So, because the phone app should still be running, or is it? Has the phone app crashed? No, the phone app hasn't crashed, so it should reload. So, although we're going to miss the start, the app just purely and simply crashed on me there. And this happened, if you remember, 2 days ago. And after a little while, I was able to get back in. You can probably see it's rebuilding, so we're not going to be long before we're back in. There we go, 19. Pretty quick to get us back in, which is a good thing. But I had nothing to do with that that crashing. It just simply crashed, and there we go. It's saying maybe it was a dropout. Come on. Yeah, I've got a red icon flashing in the bottom of my screen warning me. I wouldn't mind, but I'm hardwired. I'm not on Wi-Fi for this. I'm hardwired. So this is not my end. Okay, I'm not going to panic. I'm just going to stay here and hope it will sort itself out. Let me just check my Wi-Fi connection, not my connection rather, and make sure. No. Okay, I hope other folks aren't having this issue. a little bit annoying when you put in fact it's showing my my connection is pretty stable. Kilobytes per second where they should be, frames per second, good. Yeah. Okay. Right, I'm gonna shut down the app not the phone app, but the screen app completely, and restart it and see whether that can get us back in. So just bear with me, folks. There we go. You can probably hear it firing up. And possibly see it now. I'll transition across. There we go. I can only hope that this isn't happening to any of the racers. I hope it's just me. No. Well, I had to go early today, and it looks like I'm going even earlier. Because it's not letting me in. Nothing I can do about this, folks. My connection is definitely stable. I'm looking at it on screen. My signal is good. My FPS is good. Okay, well, I think we'll call it a wrap then. No point in sitting here looking at a screen that will not start. A bit disappointing, to say the least. Let's go on the forums and find out whether anybody else is having this issue. Okay, folks, I'm wrapping up the broadcast here, and then I'm going to get on the forums and find out whether it's just me or whether other people are having this issue, because this is just not letting me in. So I'm going to end the broadcast here. Thanks for watching the news. That was the most important part of this broadcast, because remember, I am commentating on tonight's race. So I have got a busy day. I'm going to be coming back later.